Canadian farm country.
I've been waiting 16 years to make that shot.
Find some of the largest velvet racks in all of North America.
Man, you cannot say the word Diamond T without me getting instantly excited and thinking about big mule deer. This is the place. I believe that the new world record typical mule deer in the next 2 years will come from Alberta. A lot of people have talked about Saskatchewan and their white-tailed deer being big. Alberta's got whitetails like they have mule deer. The vittles, the genetics, the feed, the nutrition, everything is in place in Alberta. This is the good old days in Alberta for big mule deer bucks.
You know, Jimmy's been hunting up with Byron at Diamond T for years for those big mule deer. And all I've been hearing about is these 180 to 200 inch mule deer that you can walk right up to. And I thought, come on, there's got to be a gimmick here. But it's true. I mean, you get to find those big bucks bedded in the canola, you can walk up within 20 yards of them. You'll definitely see those big racks sticking up through those yellow flowers.
The deer population is stable, it's growing. They had a severe winter about 6 or 7 years ago that put them down a little bit, and they've started to raise back up. And now in a typical year, a resident in the state of Alberta where we hunt has to draw for an average of 5 years before he gets a tag. But you as a non-resident, through outfitter tags, are able to hunt these big mule deer bucks every single year. This is a hunt that I look forward to because this is where the giants live. Not only their horn and their mass and size, but their bodies, their stature, the fact that they live in these big open fields. Anything that makes us a better bow hunter, we're in. But the different techniques that we learn from either the guides, the outfitters, things that we adapt, a lot of times Ray and I don't agree on every single strategy, and we use a lot of different ones amongst ourselves in order to accomplish the same goal. And so now what I've done is, I've stuck my hand behind my back, just like this. It allows me to hold my bow out of the way of whatever I'm climbing through. And then what I've done is I've used my other hand as a crutch. And what I'll do is I'll come in here with the canola, and then I'll just kick down. And as I move, I will move this canola out of the way and then allow me to slither through the middle of the canola or whatever I'm stalking in. And ultimately, this allowed me to be quieter. It's my bow's out of the way.
Well, yeah, with your one arm and 2 legs, even on your knees, you crawl 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know.
It's not fair.
I could beat you to the buck if
I know
there was
you
a buck out there, I could beat you to him.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. Because I'm shorter, I'm just going to put my bow flat and I'm going to go like this. And I'll still beat you there. Let's go kill a buck.
Oh man, can you believe that? It's always about competition. Very seldom does he win, but it's all about competition to him.
Gold Tips Force has traveled to Alberta to stock up some monster muleys with Diamond T Outfitters.
I've been listening to Jimmy talk about these big mule deer up there at Diamond T for years, and Byron finally, thanks Byron, he finally invites me up to do a spot and stalk on one of these big mule deer. Jimmy's right. I mean, it's incredible. The country, I mean, if you time it right, you can hunt elk in the morning and then go stalk those mule deer in the afternoons. It's just a great hunt. These are big mule deer. Think about it, it's the end of summer. Before the kids go back to school, you can be up there hunting a trophy mule deer with your bow, spot and stalk. Doesn't get any better than that.
Guys, the force is in Alberta. This is our guide Glenn, and he put us on a really good mule deer buck. Now, there was 2 really big shooter bucks in there, and I'm trying to be a little choosy. That little buck got the other 2 big ones up, and they just walked off before we even got in position. So that other buck was probably what, a 160, 165?
Yeah, 165. It wasn't too bad. Typical 4x4 for this area. So.
Okay, Glenn, great
Good
stock.
job.
Let's go find a big one.
Let's go, guys.
You know, it was pretty amazing when we found the mule deer that we actually ended up hunting. There was a huge canola field that Glenn knew was hidden way back off the end of a dirt road. So we drove back there, and at first we couldn't see the buck. So we took a couple different positions, but the lay of the land wasn't perfectly flat. It had a couple small draws in it, and these bucks were bedded in one of the low spots. We finally got a spot and scope on them that looked like 3 really nice bucks.
Well, there's been 8 bucks spotted in this field. We can see 3 right now, and 5 minutes ago you could see none. This canola is about 3 feet tall to 4 feet tall in places.
The thing is that that deer that he's looking at is to the far left right now, which is perfect for the wind and perfect for the approach. So the largest deer we see right now is in prime location. So Ray, you don't have very long, dude. You better get going.
Okay, my guide Glenn and I gotta go shoot a mule deer. Ready?
Gentlemen, this is not a drill. This is what we've been trained for. This is the real deal. Failure is not an option. If you want to pick up that deer tag, I'll take it from you.
You got 10,000 in your pocket?
Not today.
See how quick I can change his mind? It's interesting as we're making the approach on these mule deer. See how thick it is behind us? Most of the beds that we're finding, we're within 20 yards of the edge of the field. We're standing in one right here. Canola's 20, 22 yards. So walking through here, we could jump a big buck at any minute. We got a good solid wind in our face. So we're gonna skirt like a big horseshoe all the way around the L shape of this field and get in that other bush line and see if we can't get up close. But I mean, there's lots of mule deer, so you don't know where you're gonna run into the next buck. Ready?
You know what's really nice about the archery season in Alberta is it allows you to start hunting in the middle of August. Now these deer are in their summer feeding patterns. The canola, the leaves, the flowers are bright yellow. So it's not that easy to spot those mule deer when they're out bedded in the canola, but you can see them. If you just take your time, you won't spook those deer, but you'll definitely see those big racks sticking up through those yellow flowers.
There's 5 bucks we can see right now. One big wide 4x4 we saw yesterday. The crab claw buck could be a 6x7. They're about 200 yards just feeding slowly this way. On a peninsula here that's just got a few bushes in it, and they could feed right to us. We're gonna have to be very careful and just watch and see what they do. If they bed down, we'll make our next move. If they keep feeding, we're just gonna set up and try to ambush them when they come by. Be great to eat. We just gotta get an arrow in one.
What they were telling me is when these deer finally bed down for the day, you can just move on them. So Glenn and I are being real patient, picking our way through, found a nice little irrigation ditch to get within about 100 yards of these deer.
You know, if I was 30 years younger, it'd be a whole lot easier. The excitement never leaves. I think we're okay.
Next thing I know, here comes Jimmy just screaming across the field. He'd been watching these bucks, figured they were down for the day, and here he comes. He's just like an antelope running across that field, running, said, let's go. He says, they're not gonna be down there forever. It was kind of nice having him there because when things finally happened, I had Jimmy behind the camera. Next thing you know, we're within 40 yards of 3 of these big mule deer bucks. And they were so asleep when I got up there close, I did a real light whistle, figured they'd blow out of their bed, and nothing. I did a couple little kissing noises, nothing. And Jimmy finally says, hey, deer, you gonna get up?
Hello.
Yes, my first ever Alberta mule deer The Force is in Alberta in the big canola fields. That's my first ever Alberta mule deer, and I gotta tell you, that was a kick in the pants. About 40 yards in the middle of nowhere, sun shining, beautiful day. We gotta go call Byron. You know, Jimmy, you're such a game hog. He's been here for years. It took me 3 years to get this invite. Thanks, buddy. Let's go get my mule deer.
The Force is in Alberta, Canada with big mule deer bucks, and Bunny just laid the hammer down. This is really an extraordinary resource. This is a lot of fun out here in the canola. They've did some surveys and they found out that there's over 4,000 elk in one unit within access here. And a lot of the locals, like Glenn, you guys have to draw for how many years before you get a mule deer tag?
Right now for residents, probably 6 or 7 years for this unit. Again, lots of applicants, and you guys come along and you guys get a lot of opportunities, but it's really good.
The bow hunting's catching on up here, right?
It is, yeah, and it's a general season for archery. So, yeah.
But here, as a non-resident, you come up and hunt with our guide friends here, and you know, Sergeant Keith, this is his, Master Sergeant, excuse me. This is his second year up here, and you know, Jimmy.
I've been here like the 8th year in a row, and I'm going to come here until the day I die, or they don't kick me out of the province for shooting too many deer. So if you see my face on a wanted poster that said he shot too many deer in Canada, yeah,
Probably,
this is where I shot him.
Because I didn't shoot a bigger one than Jimmy this year. I think his is a little bigger than mine. I'll probably get an invite next year.
Half a hunt is who you're with. And these are our friends. This is our hunting party. Everybody out there, that's what the Force is all about, connecting sportsmen and really making a difference in your own community and spending your time and your resources in a positive way to promote the greatest sport on earth, right. Hunting and fishing.
Glenn, I want to thank you first because you've been hanging out with us.
You're welcome, Ray.
Working hard, putting on the miles. We've been dozing off in the truck and he's just putting on miles, and it finally paid off. 2 deer in 2 days. Actually 3 deer in 2 days because Master Sergeant Keith shot his yesterday morning.
Become a force in your own community. Get out, get a kid fishing, hunting, trapping, and shooting big firearms and big bows long range. And we'll see you again next week right here on the
Force.
Jimmy,
good job, bud. Thanks for being here.
Congratulations. Thanks a lot, Glenn.
Master Sergeant Keith.
Yeah.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
We had to actually go to a store and buy meat because we haven't shot any yet because we've got rain.